Hello everybody, my name is Alafin. I hope you are having a great day. Today I want to showcase and I want to tell you a little bit about the game called Going Medieval. What is Going Medieval? It is a colony management, colony sim slash castle building game. That's the gist of it. The game is focusing more on the building aspect than defending or fighting elements of games like it. So think Rimworld meets Stronghold, but with less fighting. At least at this moment, because the game is in early access, so things can change, but already the game has a lot of potential, a lot of things that can hook you up and make you really engaged in the game. I found it completely by surprise. I usually don't really play a lot of early access games, but I was looking for something to play between releases of games that I was interested in, and I just didn't have anything to play, and I found Going Medieval. And it really didn't take long for me to spend time past midnight finishing just one more building, just doing one more thing. It really can hook you up, and you will be surprised how fast you will stop noticing how fast hours go by. And in this video, I want to give you some tips, some kind of a beginner's guide, because the game may look not that easy at the beginning, but some guides helped me. And just to start, just the basic things, we're gonna go through all of it. And I will share some of my experiences, some of the mistakes I made in my several playthroughs that I was not aware that were mistakes really, so you can avoid them, and potentially your first playthrough will be something that you would quite enjoy. So yeah, with that in mind, let's start. And the first thing we're gonna talk about is custom starts. So basically, when you click new game, you have three options here: standard, peaceful, survival. Uh, at the beginning, I suggest standard. It is the standard mode. You will experience some raids, some environmental events, but these are not really problematic. The environmental events at least, and the raids, especially at the beginning, not a problem either. You can adjust the difficulty, and to be honest, go easy at the very start, or even very easy, unless you don't really want that defending aspect. Then just go peaceful. No enemy attacks. You just build your castle, build your village. It is the strongest point of the game right now, so yeah, maybe it's not a bad idea either, to be honest. Survival. This is the mode where you really need to focus on defending. The the difficulty goes much higher, and yeah, and the thing that you can notice here is that you can make a custom difficulty. So you can really change things in here, but you can also make a more custom start, let's say, and I'm gonna show it to you in a second. So when we have chosen, let's say, standard start. easy mode. Why not? We are clicking next, and here you have another options. So you can start with the standard one, a new life. You have three settlers at the beginning. You have some resources, some equipment, some animals. Don't worry about that too much, basically. The most important part is you have three settlers, those animals that you have see here, and those resources. Uh, they are they are enough for you to start, and it's the recommended scenario for the first time players. Uh, I honestly, after first playthrough, realized that I wanted to create something custom, something different. So my start has more cats because cats are awesome. Uh, and even now, after few playthroughs, I realized that I could actually change it. So let's go to the edit, and you will see here many options. How many settlers you will have at the beginning. You can set it however you want. So basically, the beginning of the game, you can set everything you want. You want to have 2 settlers, 6 settlers, 7 settlers, whatever. I probably don't recommend going too high with those. So 3, 4, it is a good starting point. You will get more settlers as the game goes. But something I want, and you can have here all the equipment that you want to add, clothes, animals that you will have. There is a lot of animals in the game, and the thing I want to change is that I don't want. Or yeah, I do want to have 2 cats because I want them to. How to put it? I want them to make babies. uh, just a thing that I have in my game. Uh, but I think I want to add a condition. I want to add a starting animal, and that's the way how you edit basically this whole page. You add a condition: resources, equipment, structure kits, settler constraints, so clothes and stuff like that. If you want to change the numbers of settlers, you just write it down here. No problem. Uh, But I want an animal that will be able to. Where is chicken? A deer? Oh, oh yeah. Let's go with a dog. I want an animal that could carry things, uh, and for all order them for order for animals to be able to carry things, they need to have the status of a pet. Uh, it's gonna help me at the beginning, especially, and it is something that I probably recommend to you if you are starting the game, uh, because the pets that can carry, so a goat, so a dog, for example. Sorry, the goat cannot carry stuff, but the dog, the cow, I believe, can carry stuff, and there are several others. They really help you with the aspect of logistics, basically distributing and carrying stuff within your village, within your castle, so your settlers don't have to do that. And it takes a lot of time, actually, to carry anything in this game. So having that one little dog that is gonna help with that and will just carry stuff will be kind of awesome. And if you want, you can do different stuff here. You can name it, you can tweak it however you want. and however you enjoy your experience. If you want, a easier start with more resources, so you can just, build the first structures, build the first buildings easier, faster, then you can do that. And actually it's quite awesome that they have an option like this to just, do your starting conditions. Often in those games, you are, forced to start the game the way the game developer wants you to start it. And here you are your own master, basically. So we are clicking next. Now we have to choose. We have to choose the type of a map that we will have. And more or less we have four options. We can choose the mountain type map. It will be a mountain basically, so it will have more resources like gold, iron, silver, limestone, but less place for farming, less fertile soil, less vegetation. So trees, for example, and you need the wood from the trees to build stuff. So I always play on the large map. And also the climate changes. So the winters are more cold, the summers are less hot, and it affects your gameplay a little bit. So for winter, for example, you will have to have more fuel, so your people do not freeze to death. Uh, you have valleys, and usually I choose this kind of a map because it's like a little bit in the middle. You have a hot summer, you have mild winters, you have a moderate amount of resources. There is a lot of quite a bit of place for farming, and it's a good balance basically. Uh, you can go hillside too, uneven terrain. It's good for a defensive position. It has no, it has the regular, let's say, approach to climate. As you can see in the valley, the winters are not so cold, but the summers are more hot. So hillside also a map that I actually enjoy, type of a map that I enjoy to play. You can have good defensive positions, a fair amount of resources, but still you will have more than plenty place for farming, for vegetation, and it's usually more than enough. There is a new type of map that they recently developed and introduced to the game. It's a marsh type of a map. So it has a lot of more water. The winters are mild, but basically it's a lot of like the name suggests. It's a swamp. And yeah, I usually go for the hillside or the valley. Let's maybe go with the hillside because it will allow us to show a few things that I want to show basically. And yeah, we click next. Here we have our settlers. They have different skills, different things that they can do, and how well they do it. And you can reroll characters. You can make sure that you have, the numbers that you want to have with those settlers. In my case, things that you want to have with your settlers, basically. And maybe let's talk about the skills in more detail. You don't really need to care too much about what particular skill does. You have this, here on the tooltip. You can read about that, and most of them are self-explanatory. But things that you want to have with your settlers, you want to have somebody that is good with construction and has this little star here, because if the star means that this particular settler is passionate about carpentry in his case, so he will learn the skill faster by doing it, but also he will get positive mood modifiers for doing carpentry or smithing or speechcraft or tailoring and stuff like that. You have also other perks, and he has the experience point gain. Experience point gain. Uh, so it's kind of nice, but you want somebody who has strong construction skill, because you will construct a lot in this game, and somebody that actually likes it. Do we have somebody like that? We don't really. We have Maggie, that has a high construction skill, like really high, but at the same time, she doesn't like it. So she's gonna be miserable while doing that. And you can just tweak it. You can just click advanced customization, and your people will do whatever you want. You have a points limit that you need to adhere to, that you cannot cross, but you can do whatever you want with those. Or you can just reroll a character. And we have Organa, a person that has high-ish construction level, and she actually is passionate about it. She actually likes it. So that's awesome. The other thing that we would like to have among our people is the smithing skill. There are things that you will, later on in the game, you will want to do to produce, and that require smithing, a level 20 smithing. So actually, I think I will just customize him and just give him like just to 20, because it's gonna be a pain in the ass to level it to that level in a acceptable rate. And you can do those kind of things with other characters as well. We should have somebody that is good with botany and likes it as well. We should have an intellectual as well, because it affects research, and we have that in Organa, but she's also good with construction, so we want her to be our primary builder. And maybe let's give the intellectual to somebody else, I guess. He's not gonna do much smithing, so yeah, why not? You have the erudite skill perk, I mean. So yeah, let's make you an intellectual. Why not? Give you some more points. And you can tweak your characters like that. You can think of it a little bit like cheating, but honestly, the opposite is you can reroll those characters for how many times you want until you actually get one that has the things that you want, that you need. Or you can just, do it, and it's less time consuming. So I consider this a quality of life improvement. What other skills do we need at the beginning? We do need somebody with botany skill, and somebody that actually likes it. So maybe this person. She likes animal handling. She will like botany. It works. She likes the nature. Carpentry is useful as well. Somebody that likes carpentry. We have actually several people. Awesome. Mining is also quite useful, and we have a person that likes it too. So yeah, I think we are okay. We have a marksman. Okay, I think that's quite all right. So the main skills that you want to look for are somebody that's passionate and somebody who's good at construction, an intellectual, smithing. One character with smithing with level 20, uh, and somebody who likes botany. That's the main skills that I think you need at the beginning. So let's click next, and yeah, embark on a mission. The loading will take a little bit of time, so with the magic of editing, I will come back to you very shortly when the map loads. Okay, so we are back. The map has just loaded. As you can see, there are several things lying on the ground. These are our settlers. And the first thing you want to do is to click this little hand and allow our settlers to use the things that you can see here. Because you can tell the settlers to use something or not use something, to allow it or forbid it in the game sense of those words. And if you forbid, let's say, this cabbage pile, they're not gonna move it, they're not gonna use it, it's just gonna stay there. And as you see, when you choose the cabbage pile, you have some interesting information here. Like, for example, the fact that the pile will decompose and it will rot in 10 days. Yes, things in this game do rot if they are not stored correctly. And it will be one of the first things that we will do. Create a storage unit, basically. So our settlers will move those things to a different place that will be more suitable for keeping things. Some things do not rot, they decompose, but it takes a lot of time. Things that do affect the decomposition and the rotting process are the temperature, the fact whether this is on the floor or on the ground. So right now it's just laying on the ground. What is the weather? If it's raining, if it's snowing, you know, it's gonna cause the item to rot, to decompose faster. And if it's in water as well. So pretty logical things here, really. And as I mentioned, the first thing you want to do, allow your settlers to use those and build a storage unit, or even better, maybe start with some living quarters for them, because they need to sleep somewhere, and right now it's 7 o'clock in the morning, but come night time it would be nice for them to have a bed or something. But before we start building stuff, click the pause the game. You can use it to, you can use the space button, yeah, but key, the space key. Oh, and just take a moment, look around, look at your position and whether you want to build right here when you spawn or maybe somewhere else. I usually go somewhere else. And the things that you want to look for, you want to have some space so you can build. You can have your farmland. You can have your buildings. You maybe want the place to be more defensible. So yeah, we could go a little bit higher, let's say. You can go up here on those little ramps, but we can delete those. It would be a much more defensible position actually here. Uh, and and yeah, I think I would actually prefer for us to go here, I guess. Uh, we have a lot of space. We would have an easy access to some resources. You can see here that we have clay in the left bottom corner of the map. You can see on each tile what it is. Here you have soil. Right now you have clay. Clay is a building material that you can use. Here is some clay just laying in a pile, but you can also extract it from the ground. You have some rocky soil, and the rocky soil will probably gain us some limestone, and so on and so on. So yeah, I think I would actually prefer to come here and build a little bit higher. The other thing that is going to be quite useful to me is the fact that we have a real nice hill here that we can create our basement in. So with food, as I said, the food rots. Even when we're gonna put it into in a building, it will still rot. Much slower, but it will do it anyway. The only way to stop it or to slow it so much that your food will last much longer is to put it in a basement. And you do it by digging underground. And here we just have a natural hill that we can dig a hole in and create our basement. So for later, it will be quite useful to us. So yeah, I think I would like to build somewhere around here, uh, but all our resources are here. That's going to be a little bit problematic, uh, but we will manage. First, I guess we will build the storage unit, so all those things can be moved. But even before that, as you can see, there are some weapons here and some armors as well. And I think we should just tell our settlers to equip those for two reasons. They're gonna need it to defend themselves, but also if they're gonna equip it, they will not have to carry it. So less time spent on logistics. So you need to choose a settler, and here the game will nicely tell you what to do to equip something. So let's maybe check what is Emota good at. It was here. So you have two fighting skills. You have melee and you have where was it? Marksman. So marksman, it's for using ranged weaponry. Melee, you know, as the name suggests, the opposite. So she's much better actually at melee. I mean, not better. She also has she also is passionate about being a marksman. So maybe let's do that. Let's give her a longbow. Tell her to equip that, and that's gonna be her weapon. We'll give her some time. Organa, what are you good at? You're good at not really fighting. Okay. Short bow for you. We have Lotta, that's good with melee. So yeah, Lotta, you're gonna have sort. Yes. And Cindric, you gonna have what you gonna have. You're gonna have a short bow too. Okay, so right now they're gonna have all the weapons. They need armor too, so I'm gonna tell them to equip it as well. And here we go. We are ready to go with the building phase. So yes, we want to build here. And let's maybe go with the first building. So it is our storage unit. Yeah, storage unit. So how big do we want it? And oh man, let's maybe go a little bit back. The building. As you can see in the left bottom corner, you have basically a few icons here, and these are all things that you can build or construct, which means the same thing. So we will start with base things. These are your walls, your floors, your doors, and stuff like that. So let's start with walls. And when you select the wooden wall, you will see that you have variants here. You have a wooden wall, you have a clay wall. If you will get your hands on other materials, like let's say limestone, that we don't have right now, we would have to, mine it. You will have other variants here as well. For a long time, I was really wondering why I cannot build another variant of a wall. And then I just learned that you just need to at least have one limestone, and the game will have this option here. You don't need any research or anything like that to actually do that. So you have the walls. As you can see, they have different hit points, but most importantly, they have different thermal insulation. And that is a thing that affects how temperature is gonna get inside and how it's gonna go outside. So if you are building a house, let's say, if we're gonna have a better insulation, while you are keeping the house warm in some way, if you are using some kind of fireplace or something like that, if you have better insulation during winter, the house will be warmer. On the opposite side, during summer, with better insulation, the house inside will be colder than the temperature outside. That's also a good thing. So usually you want the best thermal insulation you can have in a house. Also, another thing that I completely just missed at the first time is the value. The value of the floors, of the walls, of every little thing that is in a building affects how our settlers will react to this place. So it's most important when it comes to their own bedrooms, houses. So if it has a low value and low value in general and low aesthetic value, they're not gonna like it too much. And that is something that I did not think about at the beginning. The game does not really informs you about it too much. But we will talk about it more when it comes to their living quarters and their bedrooms. For now, it's not really something to worry about. So, wooden wall. We want our storage place to have better insulation because that means that temperature will be lower, the hot air will not get in, and things will not rot or decompose as fast. So let's choose that building material. And let's consider where we would like to put it actually. So this is another thing that you need to think about. And it's connected to logistics. For a long time, this will be your main, or even you can build it as the only storage place in your whole village. So it would be a good thing for us if that would be, close to the things that people would have to carry, basically. So somewhere in the middle would be probably good. Somewhere close to the resources, like the iron that is here. Here is the clay, so maybe somewhere here, but at the same time you don't really want to build on top of any resources as well. So actually here would be probably the best place for me right now. So let's go. Let's build a clay wall, and yeah, maybe let's make it a little bit big. Why not? As you can see, we built this wall right where this tree stands. And the game automatically detects that our settlers will try to cut this tree down before they will continue with the building process. And the resources from the tree will be for us to use as well, so it's quite a nice thing. So we have walls. We need a wooden door or any kind of door to get in. So let's do that. And as it will be our storage unit, I will actually put some more doors here. I think that will be helpful because a lot of people will come in, come out. So it will be something like a hub in the middle for our people. And as you remember, one of the things that affect how fast something decomposes is whether it is on ground or on the floor. So we need to build a floor as well. And usually I do not go for a wooden floor. You don't really need the value, the aesthetic value when it comes to a storage unit. Uh, so I usually go for the wicker floor. You will need wood to build a wooden floor, as you can see here. And wood is your primary building material, but in order to obtain it, you need to cut down trees. If you cut down a tree, you get some wood and some sticks. Very soon you realize that you have a lot of sticks that you don't know what to do with. So when it comes to the storage places, I usually do the wicker floor built out of sticks because it's just easier. And you can just click and drag. You can see that we don't have enough resources, but when they're gonna cut down those trees, I think it's gonna be quite enough. And if not, then we will figure something else out and just cut more trees around, let's say. So we do have. Oh, we can cut this tree too. it will block our entrance that we want to build. So we have walls, we have floors. Our roof would be nice. So let's build that too. And at the beginning, you can go with the hay roof. Later on, I use the wicker roof as well. It has no difference when it comes to thermal insulation or anything like that. It just looks more pretty. Never use the wooden floor, wooden roof. I'm sorry. Just because wood was not really a material that I wanted to use, that I had enough to use. And yeah, but later on, you can use whatever you want, whatever looks pretty to you. So we need to attach the roof to the walls basically. And if you want to rotate the roof, because right now, as you can see, well, it's too big. We cannot do it this way. We need to rotate it. Oh, this not, just delete yourself. Cancel this. So we need to rotate it. We need this to go the other way around, and yeah, this way we can build it with no problems. So yeah, let's do that. Oh, let's not do this one in particular. And as you can see, the whole building is planned. The game told us that we don't have enough sticks and that we have not enough hay. So hay you get from the tall grass at the beginning mostly. So you can just tell them to cut this down. Your workers one by one, or you can tell them to do it all in bulk like this. But as you probably noticed, this tells them to cut this tall grass that is not really grown yet, and it will give us nothing. So I usually don't do it like that. You just choose this one that is yellow, and tell them to cut it down. Because here you can see that this is the amount of hay that we will get from our workers. And now, if we're gonna unpause the game, yeah. Oh, let's maybe use those sticks too. And here we have some sticks too. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna use those too. If we're gonna unpause the game. Sorry, my English sometimes is really bad, and I have a headache today too. If we're gonna unpause the game, our settlers will start building and doing stuff. So as you can see here, they are getting resources for construction, they are moving those. But as you remember, we have a dog that's a pet and he can carry stuff. So we should go to the the overview. Sorry, the overview tab here. And to the domestic part, and you see that we have Bibi here. And we can assign him to a particular settler. Let's say Organa. Organa seems like she needs a dog. And we can tell Bibi to haul things. And now he will help with transporting the goods. Come on, are you gonna do something, boy? Well, maybe he doesn't want to right now. But he will help. He should help at least. Maybe he's going for something else. Let's give him some time. As you can see here, they are already building it slowly. Sometimes you will have a pop-up like this: construction failed. If the skill level of your workers is not high enough, they will have something like that. The construction failed, or when they extract resources, they can extract less than normally. So yeah, it is something that can happen later on, less so, and less so. The higher the level of your people will be. So let's give them some time. And again, through the magic of editing, I will see you and hear you after after this building is completed. So the building is more or less done. It is midnight, so the people will have to sleep without the roof. I mean, they can sleep in this building, I guess. But they have no beds or anything like that. So maybe not the best first building to create. But hey, they can survive one night just camping or whatever. They're gonna be fine. We're gonna build them some some kind of a living quarter right away, as just the next thing. Uh, but we have this building right now, and it will help us to talk a little bit about these options here in the left top corner. Uh, you probably can notice that whatever we scroll in or scroll out, we don't really see what's happening here. So the really nice option is to just hide roof elements. And now we see that still the floors are not finished. You see those exclamation signs, sorry. Uh, and those mean that we don't have enough sticks. The stick production is underway. So in time, I believe it will be sorted out when those trees here are gonna be cut down. And then our builders will finish it, and the floor will be done. But we can already use this space as our designated storage space. So here we can click the zone pod, and we have default stockpile, and we will have some variants here. You have the dumping stockpile for rotted stuff and other unwanted elements. And you have a designated area for weapons and armor. We're not gonna worry about that. We just want one default stockpile for whatever we have, and we're gonna just select this whole place. So this will be our selected default stockpile, and as you can see, we have already some stuff here from the trees that we cut down. And everything that will be in this stockpile will be added here in the right corner, so you can see how much of some things you have. So yeah, this is how you create your storage building, your stockpile. It is more or less ready. The floors are done. The building is okay, and things that we're gonna put in here that our settlers will take and carry will rot uh, much much slower. Mm, Another thing that it would be useful to talk about is the layer system in this game. You can see here that there are 16 layers. And at the beginning, you will start probably with 16 out of 16 or something like that. And it allows you to see everything, like every single layer from the very top. But sometimes you will want to see a layer lower. You can also dig below ground in this game, so you will want to see something that, let's say, it's below this building, maybe in the future. And in order to do that, you need to go down on a layer. So maybe use this mountain as an example. If we're gonna go down, at some point, you know, as you can see, we are losing the trees, we are losing this level, and we are going down and down and down and down. It will help if you want to build something on a specific layer, specific level. So yeah, in time you will get quite used to this. When it comes to our building, at some point the roof, for example, will just disappear, and then the walls, and then everything. So yeah, that's something that will be useful to you with construction and later on especially. And yeah, this is the first building ready, and yeah, our settlers will spend the night now, and then we will build the living quarters for them. Okay, so it's after the night, and as you can see, our settlers are not really happy that they had to spend the night without a bed and without a roof over their heads. So the next thing that we're gonna do is to build them some living quarters. And the important part about living quarters is to actually take into consideration the value part of walls. So, for example, when it comes to living quarters, they will actually enjoy more a wooden wall than they would enjoy a clay wall. So I usually build those at the beginning from wood. And also the aesthetic value here, as you can see with the wooden floor. So wooden floors do not have value per se, but they have aesthetic value. And I usually prefer those over the wicker floor, partially because the wicker floor is not as pretty as the wooden one. And this is a game about building a pretty village, pretty castle, so it is important. The other thing that you need to keep in mind, it will take us apparently some more time to build a living quarters here. So we need to take that into consideration. And we're gonna build just one building at the beginning. One building that is gonna be a shared bedroom with several beds in it. And you have beds in the furniture part. You just need to choose the highest sleeping spot, and I usually just build that at the beginning. At the beginning you use the shared bedroom for all of your settlers, because if we would had to build 4 buildings right now, separate buildings, it will take us time, and we don't really have that. We want them to, first of all, put them somewhere where they can sleep. That's the priority right now. The other thing is, in my first playthroughs, I built small, cozy, little, nice buildings for them, and they did not really like it. They take the size of the building into consideration as well when it comes to how much they enjoy their bedrooms, their buildings, and it is probably a better idea to build a temporary shared bedroom first, and then build several better quality bedrooms, for single bedrooms for our settlers that are bigger in size, better in quality, and so on. But that would probably be the next time that we're gonna do it. It's not that different from building our storage unit basically. So you already can and you already have the ability to do that. You know how building is done. And for now, that will be probably all. I think I will record the next episode as well, and we will continue developing this little village of ours. So I hope this maybe showcases a little bit what this game is about. I hope it's gonna help you with building your first building and maybe avoiding some of the mistakes that I made. And yeah, I hope you're gonna have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this game. I highly recommend you give it a try. It's really fun. And yeah, have a good day.